This is our Forex blog for May 20th, 2016, and I'd like to show you how our trading system has done this week. And how I do the stats is how I've always done it. Each day I fix some of the patterns that show up that are losing trades that have not done well in the past. I add more rules to try to prevent some unnecessary losses while maintaining the past winning trades. A very hard thing to do, but I tend to fix 4 to 6 or maybe sometimes 8 patterns every day. So those losses are not shown in these stats. I also will add 5 or 6 new patterns each day, so those trades would not have shown up live, but they're in these stats. And I only want to keep one set of stats, so at the end of the day, I keep stats. So the ones that I fixed are not in here, and any new ones I add are in here. But you can compare, you can go back a year and a half and see how the system has improved, because I've always done stats that way. So this particular day, there's 41 trades, 341 pips, a little bit smaller than most Fridays. 6.5 pips average loss, 14.4 pips average win, a little smaller than normal, which tends to average out around 16 to 18 pips. This day, a lot of trades, 51 trades, 466 pips net. The losses were 6.3 pips, and the wins were a little bit bigger than our average, actually, 24 pips. So about 50-50 that day, with 3.5 to 4 times bigger wins than losses. So, and that's what I try to focus on. This day, 337 pips. The average loss, 7 pips. The average win, 22 pips. So about 50% winning, 55 maybe, with almost 3 times bigger wins than losses. And that's what I try to shoot for when I create new patterns. I want them to be 55-65% winning, hopefully with 2.5 to 3 times bigger wins. This day, 416 pips, and only 8 pips average loss, which is about overall average, and the average win is around 21. So almost 3 times bigger win than loss. And then Sunday, Monday, which typically doesn't move that much, 260 pips, and the average loss is 6 pips, and the average win 17. So almost 3 times bigger wins, and that was a very good winning day. But I probably fixed 5 or 6 patterns, so it might have been 55% winning before I changed things. So I'm just going to showcase some of the trades. You can clearly see this is in a downtrend. It sells here, makes about 15 pips. Sells here, makes about 20. Sells here, makes about 8 or 9. Buys here, and loses about 5 pips on that one. Previous trade right here, good for about 40. Previous day, you can see it made about 2 pips here, 3 or 4 pips. Lost probably 12. Made about 60, it looks like. And we'll just go through some of these. Friday, this one didn't even have a single trade, which I consider it a success of our system, because I don't think I really would have taken any trades, possibly in this area, as it's clearly slightly going up, but there's no super strong trends. Here it made a new high, then it pulled back underneath this low, which is not good. The volatility is pretty low. The previous day, it has about 15 pips here, 20 pips, probably made or lost 3 or 4 pips there. Here's the Australian dollar, only one trade on Friday, good for about 10 or 12 pips. Previous day, this looks like about 15, and it lost 15 here, so those two cancel each other out. New Zealand dollar, I guess it got short somewhere in here. It's off the screen. You can showcase stuff that's above and below the chart, but wherever it went short, it probably only made 5 or 10 pips. Previous day, lost about 8 pips, and another 5 or 6 on that one. Dollar yen, went long right here, out, so it lost 4 pips. Long right here, out here, made about 15. Short, made 10, 20, 25 pips or so. Previous day, lost about 8, lost about 6, and then on the previous one made about 25. So I made money in that currency on Thursday. CAD yen, made about 10, 20 to 22 short, and wrote it down and made about 25 or 30 pips. Previous day, it looks like it did really well. Lost about 8 short here, made about 8, lost 12, made about 50, and made about 20 on that one. So that was a very good day. In the CAD yen, here's the pound yen on Friday, made about probably 4. Previous one here, it looks like it maybe made 10, made 15 or 20, made 10. In here, probably made only 2. Earlier in the day, made about 15 on that one. Here's the euro yen, out at the close, it would have only been up about 5. This one probably lost about 12. Previous short here maybe made 8. This one here made about 15. This one here lost probably 10 or 12. This one here made 15. Previous day did pretty good. Win, pretty much break even, huge win. And Swiss yen, this is an interesting pattern that uses our value areas, which you typically don't see on the charts. However, we look at where all the trading activity happened and put the value areas on the chart, and they show you where most trading activity happened over the last 4 hours, hour, day, and week. And this one really reversed right at that value area. It's where it spent most of the trading time during the last 4 hours. And that's one of the reasons why that trade was taken. But earlier in the day, you have a loss, small win, win. So it made slight amount of money on Friday. That's it for this week's Forex blog. There will be a new release, version 5.071.